Developing a visualization algorithm often involves the comparison of several visual results at different points of time during the development. The visual result at each time step is tightly coupled to the algorithm's underlying source code. The investigation of this correlation is not sufficiently supported by commonly used development tools. We therefore present Vis-a-Vis. We provide an editor for writing visualization source code. Display the visual result of the algorithm. And provide a meta-visualization for the interactive exploration of the algorithm's evolution. When writing source code, it is automatically compiled and produces an output image. By utilizing specific keywords, our framework will automatically apply camera parameters so that all data points are in view, and enable a specifically tailored interaction technique on the fly. Compiler errors are displayed as direct feedback to the user. In this case, the chosen interpolation kernel returns a vector field of lower continuity than expected. The error can be fixed directly by assigning the correct variable type. When two states share the same static scope tree, the result images will be shown next to each other. We can see that B-spline interpolation creates a much smoother result than linear interpolation. A comparison image is created, which highlights even minor visual differences. Hovering over an image displays the source code difference to the current state. The only code difference here is the interpolation kernel. The line number of the changes will be displayed to easily find the changes in the editor itself. We now implement gradient-based shading for better shape perception, and visualize surfaces around extremum lines. When the interpolation kernel is changed now, we notice artifacts in the result image. We can investigate the source code by easy mouse interactions. Since the flow computations are correct, only the interpolation kernel can cause the problem. We can retrieve the previous functioning state by simply clicking on its result image. The source code and visual result are automatically updated. When we continue coding from a previous state, existing history would normally be lost. Instead, we maintain a revision tree which stores individual development branches separately. Previous states can thereby easily be recovered. By copying and pasting source code from one state to the other, the branching functionality can be utilized to keep the meta-visualization clean. The current branch is highlighted in blue. We can now continue programming from this clean and functioning development branch. Changing the camera in one state adjusts the result images of all other states as well. It enables the comparison of all visual results even with modified parameter sets. When working with several source files, each file is represented by its own tab. Clicking on a tab displays its source code. Each file is represented in the static scope tree. Investigation of the current state reveals that the lines are not clearly separated from each other. We therefore add a halo to the lines and achieve a clear line separation. Mistakes can be identified by the visual result. In this case, the colors for halo and lines were swapped. The addition of halos shows a clear visual advantage to the previous state. We now want the lines to have a three-dimensional shape. We therefore compute a texture which holds the height of the line at each point. These changes are made in the C++ source file. Although the source code changed, the visual results seem to be the same. The difference image confirms that the results are identical. The change is not visible because the texture is not yet applied and no lighting model is implemented. We apply the texture and implement font shading. The lines now appear as shaded three-dimensional tubes. The tooltip shows source code differences from all source files. Result images update automatically. And enable easier comparison. The graphical user interface can be adjusted to the user's needs. Depth is not easily perceived in the result image, especially when the tubes do not intersect. We therefore integrate depth enhancement. Tubes closer to the viewer now appear brighter than those farther away. As the last step, we draw arrows, displaying the line's flow direction. We can see that the source code structure changed, because a new static scope tree was created. We can freely interact with the visualization. All other states' result images update accordingly. We can compare the result to other states, finding interesting intermediate states, and investigate explicit differences. If we prefer to work on a previous state, we can retrieve it from a simple click on its result image. We can then again investigate it in detail. And continue coding from there. The system automatically creates two separate development branches, which can be investigated individually. Conclusion. We can write source code for a visualization algorithm, receive the compilation's textual output, receive the visual interactive output, and a meta-visualization for the visual exploration of visualization source code evolution.